I have no regrets leaving high school. I'm very content and happy with everything that I've accomplished, all because I stayed focused and I'm on my career path and I'm ready for college. A lot of friends, they come and go, which that was the hardest part for me because when I find my friends, I latch on and I love them with all my heart. I want to meet new people. I want to have that, college experience that everyone has, which is kind of different. So the definition of college experience has definitely changed. And I hope that my future self is happy with what she achieved in college and who she become. That is someone who doesn't hide behind anything like a shell, and she's herself unapologetically. My name is Makayla King. I just graduated from George Rogers Clark High School. I plan on attending the University of Kentucky, majoring in animal science and minoring in dance. I started dance when I was 7 years old, and I didn't fall in love with it right away, but I fell in love slowly with it, and I'm glad I stuck with it. I currently dance at Bluegrass Youth Ballet, and it's been a dream. So when I was dancing with BYB in Lexington, there was this person who always made point shoes for the roles that you wore. So this was the first one I got. I was Russian in the Nutcracker, so there's a lot of pretty details on it and like meaningful things that they put into each point shoe that they make. So this one's really cool. Another ballet I was a part of with BYB was Alebrije. And it was very different. I played a fish who ate the moon. So this is the fish, here's the moon, but this one is so different and I think it's really pretty. So I love that I have all these to have like tokens of my time, but I love this. Another one I have is when I was Candy Cane in the Nutcracker. This has to be like my favorite one because it just screams Christmas, very pepperminty and so beautiful. And then the rest of them are just point shoes that I wore in different ballets. So I danced in these. I was Tinkerbell in Ballet on the Stars. It was so difficult to dance in these because the pom-pom, and I didn't want it to fall off, so like going on point. I was very gentle, we'll say that, but I love it because I love Tinkerbell and these were so cute. The next ones are just rhinestone black, some hair on it because husky, but rhinestones and just covered. But I wore these in Outstanding Teen. I did my dance to Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel. And honestly, these were so cool. I felt amazing, and the light like really catches the shiny sparkles. Next was also Outstanding Teen, but it was my second year doing it. I danced to This Is Me in honor of my sister. I love that song, and the point shoes just had to match. The costume was very pretty. It had this lace design, and we just wanted to put on the point shoes. So there was a lot of custom activity to the point shoes. Next they're just gold. They look, this is what happens when your point shoes fray at the tips. Not very pretty, but it happens. Anyways, so these are just plain gold, and they were when I was Lumiere, the candlestick, yes, leave me here. I love him, but I played him, and honestly that was one of my favorite characters I've played. He was so fun. I had candles on my hands, and it was just a really fun ballet. Last, I have these red point shoes, and it was when I played the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland. Now this was my all-time favorite role. I got to be something completely out of my comfort zone. You know, she's very evil, and it was very, very fun to play, and I will always love this role and be so thankful for it. I started going to Disney when I was about 5 years old, and it's been my passion ever since. We've probably been like 20 times since then. We try to go every year, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I'm trying to convince my parents we need an annual Disney pass. It hasn't worked yet, but I'm working on it. But I am in love with it. It makes me so happy, and if I'm ever like in a bad mood, I can just throw on a Disney movie or play Disney music and I'm in my happy place. It's my mom's happy place too. We both have that mutual bond over it. I bring Disney into everything I do because it makes me extremely happy, and it just, who doesn't love it? One of my dreams is to also go to the Disneyland Paris. The castle, from what I've seen, is absolutely gorgeous, and just pictures of it look amazing. And I know the rides in different like Disney World or Disneylands are so much different than the ones that we have here, and all of it's very unique. So my goal in my life is to go to every single Disney World. I want to see them all. I want to see all of them. My senior year was obviously cut short because of COVID-19, but I'm honestly very grateful that happened. I got to spend more time at home with my parents, and starting college, I know I would have to leave a lot. So it's been a wonderful experience that I've gotten to be with my parents more and hang out with my brother and my dogs. So online classes were not that bad. I got to rub on my dog and do my AP Lit, and I enjoyed myself. And you could eat your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that's what I like to do, and I was in the comfort of my own home. So, and it was much later classes, so we didn't have to wake up that early, and I wasn't tired. So I actually enjoyed it very much. And the prom thing, I had my dream dress. I picked it out when I was in 8th grade, and I showed it to my mom, and I was like, this was gonna be my dress. And senior year, we found the dress from some woman out of state, and I got the dress. But it didn't go exactly how we planned, obviously, because there was no prom. But I can't imagine it any other way. I got all dressed up, my dad got dressed up, my mom got dressed up. They hung some different banners, and they got me some food and got me some takeout. And I went to my friend's house, and we both stood 6 feet apart, and we danced in the driveway. And it's probably one of my favorite memories. I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. We just played some Aerosmith and just did a little boogie, and I loved it so much. And I don't think prom would have been that great if we actually had prom. They talk it up a lot, but I like the home version a lot better. I think the way we graduated was probably the best thing. If you look back on graduations, you have a lot of people, they come back to back. You're very close together. But this way, we had 6 minutes, our graduating class did, and we walked across the stage slowly, and they said our names and where we're going. In normal graduation, you wouldn't do that. You just get through them very quickly. But they took our time, and there was a lot of focus on us. It was really great. We were also inside, which normally where we graduate is outside, and it's very hot. So I like the AC and that our parents were up front and they could see what was happening. It was very intimate and very special.
Makayla King, daughter of Curtis and Melissa King. After graduation, she plans to attend the University of Kentucky to major in animal science and minor in dance and musical theater.
I remember going through, and a lot of friends, they come and go, which that was the hardest part for me, because when I find my friends, I latch on and I love them with all my heart. But sometimes friends change and they grow apart. So I think that was the hardest part for me. Everyone has gone through it, and I know that's relatable for a lot of people. That, I mean, even freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, or even senior year, friends came and they go, and it was a very sad part of high school. But I also found who my true friends are, and I've latched onto them, so I'm very excited. I remember it being a very tough time of just losing friends and trying to find out who your true friends are and who's going to be there for you. So I think the thing I leaned on the most was my dancing. I had my dance friends. They would always be there for me, but they were in Lexington, so I could see them every day, but I would have to go through high school and I would be alone. So I leaned on them for the most part, and I had my parents too. I knew I was never alone if I just walked out my door and there they were. We could watch a movie or anything. I know I will always have my parents as my best friends, so they helped me a lot. I think I want to focus more on myself. I tend to focus a lot on other people, and I forget that I have feelings too, and I like to suppress those feelings and focus on how other people feel before myself. So I know now that before I can help anyone else, I need to help myself. Going into high school, since I came from a public school, a lot of the things that I got from people when I went to public school was that I acted like a goody-goody, or I was a teacher's pet, or I was generally just a nice person, but I was very nervous of what people thought of me. So I want people's opinions to be good, and that's what I worry about the most. And I stress about that, which is not good, but it's something that I've struggled with for a really long time, of just trying to be a people pleaser, basically. So a lot of people do assume that I'm a goody-goody, which I don't get in trouble, but I'm working on it. You know, I'm just working on trying to be more happy with myself and not worried about what others think of me. At the start of my senior year, it was kind of surreal. It didn't feel like I was a senior. It almost felt like I was still that little freshman that just walked in. Because my first year of public school was actually freshman year of high school. So it kind of felt like I was still this freshman that was going through this new change. So it was kind of surreal going into my last year. I basically have no regrets leaving high school. I'm very content and happy with everything that I've accomplished, all because I stayed focused, and I'm on my career path and I'm ready for college, and I hope to be the same. And I'm staying home because of obviously my sister, and I feel like that's the most comfortable space for me, but I'm ready to do everything over again, focus on what I need to be, focus on dance, and I have no regrets leaving high school. I would tell someone that's going into high school to be themselves, which is an obvious answer, but you just really need to be happy with yourself in order to get through, because it is very hard. I mean, it's 8 hours of just waking up every single day, and it's exhausting. It is. And there's a lot of pressure that comes along with it. So be happy with yourself, and if you're happy with yourself, then I think you'll get through high school and be a success. From college, I expect for myself that I'm going to really focus on dance, and I know my new dance family is going to be something that I stick with, and those are going to be the people I lean on, so I'm looking forward to that the most. I would have to say I'm both nervous and excited to start. I know a lot of things are going to be foreign territory. I'm going to be very nervous about some things and maybe hold off, but I want to see if I can push myself to be that open and bubbly self. So I'm very excited to begin, start dancing and meeting all these new people. I hope I get out of my comfort zone with not only meeting new people, but also with dance too. There's so many different forms, and I've been so focused on ballet for a really long time. I want to try new things, jazz and modern, just be different and push myself to try different opportunities. And I really want to get the most I can out of the animal science program. I know I can work with a bunch of different animals, but I need to just jump in at full force and be excited with everything that comes at me. I would tell myself that you need to open up and not be afraid of meeting new people. Just being the first one to say hello is a big step, so be that person that does that. Step out of your comfort zone. I've always wanted to be a vet. It's kind of like that little kid job that everyone always wanted, but it's just something that I've always wanted to do. I keep coming back to it. I'll change like what I wanted to be, and then it always comes back to being a vet. I love my animals so much. I have 4 dogs, and we want another one, and I have 1 cat, and it just doesn't seem like enough. I just want them all. So I know UK has a connection with Auburn, so I hopefully will be attending Auburn to become a vet. I chose animal science because I have a passion for helping animals. They're the cutest things in the world, so I just think that they're so precious, and I really want to be around them all day. I would love to wake up and my job be working on these animals and being around them. And my minor is dance, and I chose that because I can't imagine my life without dance. I've been dancing since I was 7 years old, and I don't think I can ever stop. When I go to college, I plan on going through the recruitment process, which is very nerve-wracking because I know nobody in my family has ever done it before, so I'm trying to get all the advice I can from other people right now. But I'm very excited for it. And I also plan on doing the 4 paws for ability probably later in my years, so I have time to focus on myself, but then I can have a dog, and that'll be a lot of fun because he doesn't love dogs. And then I hope to attend the Disney College program. I'm very excited about that because I am very obsessed with Disney. So my sister Paige, she's disabled, and a lot of the time my mom needs help. So my only options for college in my mind were something that was in state. but since I also wanted to dance, and UK has a really good dance program, that's kind of how I narrowed my college decisions out. I needed to be close to home because I know that my mom, if she needed anything, I need to be there for her. And I need to help with Paige all that I can, but I wanted to dance. So UK was my best choice. So in 5 years, I hope to be in vet school, either in Auburn or Tennessee, wherever I end up. And I hope that my future self is happy with what she achieved in college and who she become. That is someone who doesn't hide behind anything like a shell, and she's herself unapologetically. Another big part of my life is pageants. I started doing them when I was 14. One of my mom's friends called her, and we were actually at Disney, and she was like, okay, there's a pageant, and I know she's never done one before, but we don't have a lot of people, so would you be comfortable in entering it? And I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. So my first dress, I got it from a consignment store. My mom and her best friend, we went to Louisville, I think, and we picked out, I think, the most beautiful dress, and I actually ended up winning. And I loved pageants ever since. I was very shy going into it, but somehow this opened me up. I started interviewing more, and with pageants you have to say a lot of things you believe in, even if it's like you talk about political stuff and just your feelings and everything you've gone through. So going into interview, that was my favorite part, and it is my favorite part. You just get to talk about everything that you've gone through in your life and your opinions, and those judges care about what your thoughts are. So I think it really helped me to be my open and bubbly self, and I've loved it. So I'm at Miss Briss, and I'm here to get my headshots done. I don't have any like recent headshots of me. I've got some when I was like really young, but I've changed a lot in my looks. So that's what I'm here to do. So I'm very excited. So the headshot is either going to be for Miss Kentucky Teen USA or Miss Kentucky. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but whatever it is, I will be ready and I'll have my headshots. So. I compete in the Miss America organization, which is a scholarship program. So we have talent, interview, there's an on-stage question, depending if you're a teen or miss. You have a platform that you all strongly believe about, and it can be something that's very personal to you. And this system has been amazing. It's called a sisterhood because that's exactly what it is. You have to go through a preliminary to even go to your state title. And so you have your group of your sisters that go to state with you, and you're connected with them. You go to every events together, and you just have this bond that's unbreakable. And that's what I think I've loved most about being in this system. I've found my two closest friends, and I just keep on finding these amazing girls who are very similar to myself and others. They just all are career driven, and they all have goals, and you meet these amazing women who are very smart, and they're helping you even if they're wanting the same title as you, but they're not afraid to help if there's help needed. So my absolute favorite thing that I have received from being a part of this organization, I competed in the Miss Kentucky's Outstanding Teen program, and I received first runner-up, which was very difficult to get there. I worked very hard for many years to even compete in the pageant. I am so grateful for the title that I received, and it was a blessing to even be on that stage. Most people assume that since I've been a part of pageants and I've danced all my life, which is a very hard thing to do, and you have to have a certain mentality going through it. Both things are very difficult, so you have to come across as like you have it all together, and most of the time I don't have it all together, and life's pretty difficult. Everyone could say life is difficult. There's something that everyone has that makes life hard, but I know I come across maybe a certain way to some people that I have it all together, and I really don't, but I have a lot of people who help me get through it. So I have two siblings, my brother Zeke, which his real name is Matthew, but his middle name is Ezekiel, but he likes to go by Zeke. And then I have my sister Paige, and they're both older than myself. But I like being the baby, and Paige has been my biggest role model. She is disabled. She cannot walk, talk, or see, but somehow she manages to have a smile on her face every single day, and she's just been my biggest inspiration. Everything has been very difficult for her, life has been difficult, but she manages to be the happiest person in the room. And then I have my awesome parents. I have my mom Melissa and my dad Curtis. So this is Annie Mae. I got her, yeah, she said talk about me. So I got her when it was my birthday, which is November 2nd. I got her after I did a show with Bluegrass Youth Ballet, because that's where I danced. And I came home and this little puppy was running all about. Annie is named after, she's just gone now, but Annie is named after this dog that we used to have. Her name was Maggie Mae. Her name was Maggie Mae, and she was a really sweet dog, and we just knew she was so sweet. And the Annie part comes from my friends, the Hackworths. They had a dog named Annie, and it was absolutely sweet, and we decided to name her after that dog, and then Mae, so we got Annie Mae. Our husky is named Taya. Oh. This is my brother's dog. This was his gift for graduating high school, and he's always wanted a husky. I mean, ever since he was little, he carried around a husky, and it was just, he knew what he wanted. So Mom and him drove to, I think, Ohio and got Taya. She's a butthead sometimes, but she's so beautiful. She's like a little model. She's stubborn. So how I came to be is I give it all to my sister, because my mom always needed help, my dad always needed help, and so I grew up extremely quickly. No funny business was around. I mean, I could be a kid, but my sister came first in my life. So I did get a phone before, like a lot of people, just because if my mom needed to go to the grocery store, or if I was at dance and something happened to my sister, I needed to have my phone in order to talk to my mom if anything happened. I mean, I had to go home with some of my friends before because my sister ended up in the hospital, and that's happened so many times. I was Clara in the Nutcracker when I was really little, and that's the biggest role you can get in the Nutcracker. And I remember every single night after I rehearsed, I went to the hospital because Paige, oh, I'm gonna cry, because Paige ended up in the hospital, and when she stays there for long periods of time, and she is the reason I am who I am, because of her, I needed to be an adult. I needed to grow up because she needed it. And when everyone was being their kid selves, I needed to be the grown-up Makayla who watched her sister and helped her and helped fix her feeding tube or her oxygen tank. She was the reason of why I am who I am. So with all of that being said, the reason I acted the way I did in high school was because I was so focused on my schoolwork and what I needed to do, and it was all because of my sister, because I needed to grow up that quickly. I wanted to focus on my schoolwork. There was no time for funny business. I know everyone had a good old time and they would go to the football game or whatever, but I was focused on what I wanted to be and what my future was like. So if there was a game, I was at dance or I was studying. There was never a time that I really took back for myself and I focused on something that was necessarily more fun. In my eyes, learning and going to dance was my way of fun because I knew that was the way of my future. I knew that was going to help me be the best version I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I love you.
I love you too.
Love you!
It's still there.
Well, it needs work.
Yeah, I need to redo the roof on it.
Yeah, you need to fix it up. I would play in that thing.
Did all the baby bunnies leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then he said they were gone after we left that day.
Sad. Cute.
Yeah. I think Stuart needs to come and build us that
Garden. I
That
do.
garden.
I want that garden.
yeah. It's really cute.
Okay, so that'll be good.
We'll have to plan a date and come down there soon. But
Yeah.
do you approximately know when you're coming home?
I'll come home a little bit later this evening.
Yay. Good.
How long are you
Good
going to
sleep.
stay, or do you know?
At home,
Yeah.
I'll stay and work, and then but you guys will.
It is.
There he is, looking grumpy.
Looking grumpy. He's got his eyes squishy because it's
Yeah,
sunny.
it's sunny, I know.
Now
Oh.
we're back to the weeds again.
Oh, we're back.
There he is.
Goodbye, Father.
Bye. I love you all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Can I have the boxed combo with extra toast minus the coleslaw, Coke to drink, what else? 2 honey mustards, no cane sauce.
The honey mustard in place of the cane sauce and 2 extra.
No, just in place of, so it would be 2 altogether.
Honey mustard and Coke and a large Coke Zero will be $10.76 at that price point.
Faces.
Hello?
What are you doing?
Hey, I'm just coming here to try to get the dog to sleep. It's like a baby.
Let me see her.
She's eating a Jolly Rancher.
Oh,
What?
yay! She gives her sweets all the time.
That's not good.
What are y'all
We're heading to get Annie Banani.
You all send me a picture when you get Annie.
Okay. All right. All right. Bye. Oh, she looks so good.
She looks so good. Oh.
Oh, we got one pass.
This was your pass.
This is the pass for the father.
Yeah, you could blame him.
Let's do all.
So I don't have any tail hair because Daddy let me
Yeah,
get
that was a mess, but she's a cute little lion tail.
She's so precious. Look at Annie. I don't really have a lot of thoughts going into it, just that, you know, everything's on the line, so it's disappointing, but my thoughts are just, you know, just push through and everything will be fine. I am pretty disappointed that all the classes are online. You know, you don't get that full college experience if you're stuck at home, and I'm commuting, so it's going to be kind of hard not being able to see a lot of people other than Zoom. Well, I've already taken a summer course through UK, so there's not much I need to like prepare for. I don't really need to I mean, I have like notebooks and stuff that I'll just like write some notes in, but I mean, preparing, I haven't really done much of that. But I mean, you could say like my room is my dorm, so I've been trying to, you know, make my room look as if like a dorm, and if I want it to look like that. There's a lot to be done that I want in my room, but it's a process. I don't know if I'm not really that nervous, because I would say I'm not nervous at all, just because I mean, everything's on the line, so there's no like real human interaction besides Zoom, and you have to meet yourself, and email, which you're not really talking. So I'm not really nervous at all. I know there's going to be some classes that they don't have a due date and it's like far out, but I really hope I do not procrastinate, because that is the most stressful thing, and I just need to get it done beforehand and not push it back. I hope to gain better communication skills with everything that's happening through Zoom and email. You have to have proper etiquette going through that. So just communicating with others and being proper, and especially through emails, there's a certain way I know you have to do that. So just enhancing those skills. I know personally, and not only because of everything that my family's going through, that all of this experience has been good to have just time off and away from everything. My grandma recently passed away, so just being able, I mean, I could go down there whenever I want and spend a couple of days with my grandpa and my aunt, and I could do that at any time. I know since everything's online, it's kind of disappointing, but I get more family time, and when, you know, my grandma was taken away, it's just, you realize how much you didn't do things right, or you wanted to do this more, and I think this time has given us the opportunity to, you know, be with our family more and have those experiences that we may have not have gotten. I hope that there's going to be some in-person activities that I can get involved with, not only through my dance program, but also like sorority. I do want to have like social interaction, because, you know, I am an extrovert and I just want to talk to people all the time. So I hope I can do that, and I want to meet new people. I want to have that, you know, college experience that everyone has, which is kind of different. So the definition of college experience has definitely changed. So I know a lot of people have moved into their dorms, and they're
being around a lot of people at the moment. It's just what I'm seeing. So I have a feeling that we're all just gonna get kicked out or be online, or because people are trying to get together, they're trying to have their parties. So I think those are going to be shut down very quickly and hopefully very soon, because I think it's just going to spread more and we'll just have everything taken away again. I'm pretty happy that all my classes are they're set in stone, they're online, just because I don't have to worry about it going to campus. And I did have one class that was my dance class, and it was unsure if I was going to be on campus or online, and so that's officially online, and I'm glad that's happening because I don't have to worry about parking. I didn't even buy a parking pass because all this was happening, and I was like, I'll just have my mom drive me because that's a bonding experience. We like our drives together. So everything is all happening for a reason, and I'm really happy that everything is going the way I expected it to. The advice I would give to myself is don't be shy and open up. It takes some time for me to really open up to people. I'm just, worried about all their thoughts about me or whatever it is. I just want myself to open up and be myself right from the start. So my first week is going pretty well, I would say. I've been more organized than I thought I would be. I've just been so worried about getting everything done, or worrying about if I got everything done. I've gotten 2 planners, so that has kept me more organized, and I think it's gone pretty well. I think it is harder on the aspect of you're doing it all online. It is what I expected, just because I did take a lot of college classes, and I know it's gonna be hard. Just the online portion of it, I'm not tech savvy at all, so it's been hard on that part of it. I think they're all pretty good for telling us when everything's due, and we use Canvas a lot for assignments and knowing what to do. But I think the hardest one would have to be my math class, just because there are so many different websites and other things that my professor uses to show that we have homework or different things like that. I think just technology-wise that's the hardest thing for me. But I mean, every class will not necessarily be easy. I know it's gonna be hard, but technology is the thing I'm worried about the most. From this week alone, I can't tell much of a difference. I can tell a difference in the way I have to speak to people and talk to people. You have certain etiquette to use for your professors, and even talking to your classmates. There's just a different way we all talk and respect each other. It's just different than high school. So the classes, from what I can tell, we've all taken it very seriously. We all want to know when everything's due, what happens, and we all ask questions. I think the group of people that I've been around with are focused and dedicated towards their college career, and it shows during classes and during Zoom. I'm already stressed out just because I am so worried about forgetting to do something, or if I needed something to be done already, just all the above. I'm just afraid that I haven't done something, and with everything being online, it's just making that worse. I go to bed and I'm like, okay, did I get that done? Did I not get that done? So those are just things that go through my head. My thoughts are to take it week by week. I'm just trying to focus on one thing at a time. Not really we don't have we have like our class schedule at times, but I only have 3 classes that are on Zoom. So the rest is up to me to put in that time to actually get the work done. So I think going into the next week, I really need to focus on, you know, scheduling that time for myself and knowing that I need a slotted amount of time to do this or this. I think in high school they were more lenient on like when you could turn it in, you could say, oh, this happened. They'll be like, oh, okay, you know, okay, it's just some slack. You can just turn it in whenever. But college is like much more like, this is the time, it has to be turned in. And that's also the nerve-wracking part, because on Canvas it says this certain time. And if you turn it in later, it will say late. It won't say, you know, it will just say late. And those words scare me. I never want to see those words. I mean, I expected college to be like the obvious, you know, in person. But I know it's online and it's different, but I would honestly say this is what is best for this year, just because everything being so crazy and what's happened with my family and what we're still currently going through. I think it's honestly best that I'm home, I'm with my loved ones, and I can just have that time. I hope that I continue to be on top of things and I continue to get everything done on time and I'm not stressing. My goal this semester is to not be stressed out. I want to be calm and I want to be happy with the way everything went. So I hope my semester is great. So I'm going through the recruitment process at UK, and so far it's all been on Zoom and it will continue to be on Zoom. They're not sure if bid day will be on Zoom or not. We're just taking it one day at a time. I've had to talk to many chapters at different times, so there's a big schedule and it'll give you a link to Zoom and they'll send you into these breakout rooms and you'll talk to different people that are in that chapter. And it's been going pretty smoothly. I had to wake up at 9 and I'll go till almost 7 tonight just for, you know, talking to different people. And I mean, it's been a good time. I enjoy talking to everyone. I hit up my friends who were in my sorority with me. I want that sisterhood that everyone talks about, how they always can rely on one another, and I think it'd be great. I think when you come from high school to college, in college you're looking for those friends again, because sometimes, or a lot of the times, your friends go to different places, and like mine did. So you're all going into it with the same idea of, oh, I want to make friends. So it comes much easier because everyone's on the same playing field. I was nervous, like, going into it. I wasn't sure what to expect, but once I got into it, I'm enjoying it so much. Being like cooped up and not really talking to a lot of people besides like my dog and my mom. It's like such a relief to just get to talk, and I love to talk. So it's been a lot of fun meeting new people and just even talking about what I've done or just anything. So for this whole process, I want to make sure that I am really understanding the people that I am talking to and remembering those conversations when it comes to me ranking them. So I've been using my little book, and I've got a ton of notes, just talking about like what chapter it is, what their values are, and their philanthropies, and just basically how the conversation went. So I can just keep track of that, so when I'm thinking about it in the future. So I'm looking for a sorority that has the values that I'm looking for. So I'm really big on friendship And we had to do this values bracket where we chose what meant the most to us, and that was like extremely difficult for me because family had so many different values incorporated for me, and then friendship did as well. Like, to have a friendship, you need like authenticity, you need like truth, and you have all these values that go into one. So that was really hard for me, but I just want to find a sorority that has the same values as me, and we just click, and the conversations, they go smoothly, and we have a good time, but we're also service driven. So they chose their philanthropy for a reason, and I want to be involved in a sorority that does real work with their philanthropies. So I said earlier that my grandma passed away, and several months later my sister passed away. That was very difficult, and personally I've grown, and when you think life is going to take you one way, it reroutes and it goes completely different, or it goes off the walls, and it's something that you have to just battle every single day. So I honestly think I've been stronger, and I've noticed myself not reaching out more, or just kind of to myself, which is not normally like me, but it's just it's been hard, and I don't think I've completely understood anything yet. I've not really processed that it has all happened. So I think every day is a challenge, but I think I've grown tremendously because of it. I think with all the loss that I've experienced over this whole year, the one thing, or the couple of things, and that has kept me happy is my animals. When I'm happy, they're there to share the joy. When I'm sad, they're there to lay with me and cuddle with me and just be with me. And I love animals for that. They are always there to comfort you or to be with you through anything. And I think this whole year has made me want to be a vet even more. I mean, even with Paige, she would listen to the dogs fight and argue, and we would be like, oh, stop it, and she would laugh. She thought all of that was so funny. So even in her own way, the dogs comforted her and even made her laugh. So I think this is still something that I really want to do. So Paige she was 29, and she is disabled. She can't walk, talk, or see, but yet she always had the biggest smile on her face. And that's something that she'll always be remembered for. I know personally she was the light of my life. Even getting into pageants, I had something that I was fighting for. You have a platform, and my platform was disability, not inability, and it was all because of her. And she's the reason that I want to give the opportunities for people with disabilities, and I will continue to do so because of her. She is someone who lit up a whole room, and anyone who knew her knew that she had the biggest smile, and it was so pretty, and her eyes were gorgeous, and her hair was very luscious. But besides all that, she had the biggest personality, and she just made anyone happy. I pray someday. God sent me an angel. She sits with a halo around her head. He gave her to me for a reason. I pray someday she will see the changes of the seasons. She is so sweet and full of life, so pure and innocent. I pray someday she will see the light. He could take it from me if only God would give her sight. I pray someday she will see the trees, the oceans, and the sky so blue. If you came to know her, you would love her too. I pray someday she will see the mountains and the grass so green, the valleys and all the rivers between. I pray someday she will see the beauty of a deer running through a field, the whiteness of a snow-covered hill. I pray someday she will see the colors of a rainbow. The love that I have for her is forever in my eyes. The flight of an eagle soaring through the sky. I pray someday she will see the wind blows a porch chime, the hand of a clock as it ticks and keeps time. I pray someday she will before I die. So this was a poem written by my mother. She wrote it for Paige when she was only 5. I really liked my first semester. It was a way to keep up with the schedule, and I'm always that person who has a certain date they're going to do something and they have to get everything done or whatever it is, but I liked having my schedule back and just being able to get into the flow of things. I honestly can't say that I really had a college experience, but the one thing I got to enjoy was I'm in a sorority, so I'm in 80 Pi, and I have really enjoyed meeting the girls, though it's very unconditional, like it's not normal, but I've met some through online, even through Instagram, and we've all been chatting, so it's been nice to meet them. I would have to say the in-person interactions, I'm someone who likes to be in that environment and be meeting new people, and didn't get the chance to do that obviously, but that's what I miss the most, being able to just be face to face, because it's truly the best way you get to know somebody. So the class that I liked the most was my animal science class. They had labs, and honestly I found it so interesting. I would lay in my bed and I would just be watching these labs, and I found them so interesting. It was just a bunch of different animals, love animals. So it really just was my happy place, and I enjoyed every time I got to watch a lab, honestly. But the class I disliked the most is more like the class I thought was the weirdest, or the weirdest one that adapted this certain way. So dance was the one. It was kind of weird. I had to dance in my living room. It was a very tiny space. It's not too tiny, but I have a couch, and then it was just very restricting. So learning how to adapt to the space and dance in a new way was very odd. Honestly, I liked the flow of being online. I wanted to be in person, but I wouldn't choose just one class in person because it would be a lot to drive back and forth. So having everything just laid out for me, you had a schedule, I think it all went very smoothly. I would say just keep on pushing on, because when I am determined, when I want something, I go after it. I don't stop until it's done and I've accomplished my goal. So to my future self, I would say just keep on striving for excellence and push yourself to be the best version of yourself.
Like I've struck a gold mine with your hand in mine. Our love came alive. We've still got the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives. with me.